Happy birthday, Gemini, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I certainly appreciate both your viewership as well as your subscriptions. Okay? So, Gemini, what I'd like to do for you today is to give you a shadow reading to help you become more aware of your pain, of your shadow, if you will. Some of you might be asking, what is a shadow? Put simply, Geminis, a shadow is an evil twin. It's an anomaly. Okay, it's an other. And for those of you who are familiar with the terminology as used in literature, it's your doppelganger. Okay? Understand, Geminis, that this shadow has been with us for centuries. Shakespeare once noted, out, brief candles. Life is but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hours upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. So today, what I like to do is to utilize the wonderful macabre tarot, okay, in order to convey your messages. Rest assured, Geminis, that this is a general reading, and as such, it certainly will not and may not resonate with each and every one of you out there. But for those for whom this reading is meant, I certainly hope that it offers you the valuable insight that you're seeking. Also understand, Gemini, that the intention of this reading is not to upset you, okay, or to rattle your nerves, but of course if it does, then I've done my job here, okay? Because these are tendencies, this shadow that you are, to which you are clinging, that you need to let go. All right? And it's basically, this reading serves to help you live the life that God intended you to live. With that said, Gemini, so let's go on and just shuffle up here. And I'm going to start off by just sharing with you what I'm seeing as an overarching theme here. And then from there, we'll just ask Spirit other additional questions to gain more impressions about your shadow, okay, and how it's been affecting you. Geminis, keep in mind, if this reading resonates, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button so that each and every one of you receives future readings. All right, so let's just go on and just dive right on deeply here into this reading. And I'm going to select two cards here from the bottom of this deck here. So we have the stars, Geminis. I'll put this here. Okay, and let's select another card here. We have the Four of Cups. All right, so let's see if we can figure out what Spirit is trying to tell us here with those two cards there. Okay, so let's look at that first card there that we have there. We have that Four of Crystals. Okay, and with having that card here, that kind of shows that greed surrounds you, or some of you might even act like a Scrooge in some way, or you're just being a bit possessive, or you're just focusing extremely too much on the acquisition of money or the lack thereof, money and security here that I'm kind of seeing here. And then when you just add that star card there, I get the impression that some of you looks like you've lost faith in matters. There seems to be a lack of hope and uncertainty about the future, and self-pity, and a lack of confidence seems to be something that you are having problems controlling here that I'm kind of seeing here. You're constantly self-piteous behavior, and you're just not confident. I'm kind of getting, Let's go on and just get right into your reading, into more specifics here. Let's ask the cards, what is actually Gemini's pain? Okay. We have the world, Geminis. Okay. So with having the world card there, that tells me that perhaps some of you are just simply chasing waterfalls, and you're not really being realistic, or you're feeling a bit empty, or it seems like you've been repressing very hurtful experiences or clinging to the past once again, and just having an inability to perceive the bigger picture in matters. Okay? Some of you are not feeling whole. There seems to be a lack of integration or lack of closure and or procrastination that surround you here. Okay? So Spirit, what insights do Gemini have, or that Gemini might need when it comes to helping them heal? Okay, we have, ladies and gentlemen, the Hermit. Wow. So having that card there, that tells me that perhaps many of you might want to consider meditating or seeking advice even of a psychic practitioner. Okay, or some of you might decide to go on some type of a spiritual retreat. Okay, for healing, I'm getting. So let's take a peek at what's hidden, of which you may not be cognizant at this time, and what seems to be surfacing in, or just simply, ladies and gentlemen, what's blocking you. Wow. We have the Nightmare of Cups here. Okay. Geminis, if this reading is resonating, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Share it with others to whom you think might benefit, and be sure to press that subscription button, okay? So this card is all about self-absorption, or just simply being superficial, or just continuing this playboy, playgirl mentality. Or once again, I have to stress, being unrealistic, or just being a bit too airheaded, Gemini, or too stubborn, that I'm getting, okay? Now let's go on and just revisit your past, or just examine the past and see how it has affected your life, even your health. Okay? We have the Five of Crystals, okay? So this card tells me that you guys seem to have a lot of fear about sustaining yourself, or not having sufficient funds, or just, feeling abandoned. You're afraid of feelings of abandonment, or even for some of you, homelessness. Okay? So the wise thing for us to do now is to see what your turning point would be. What's needed to help you heal, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Tower of Bones. That card tells me that Spirit wants you to be a bit more creative. Look for those type of opportunities, because those type of opportunities will help bring out all of the talents that you guys have, because you have a lot of talents, Geminis, that are still dormant here, and you need to bring them out. Okay? And your creativity is wild. Utilize it, and see what works for you. So with that said, Geminis, this is your reading. I certainly hope that it has offered food for thought. Be sure to like and share, subscribe if you've yet to subscribe, and should anyone wishes to have a more personalized reading, you can certainly access my website to schedule and or to purchase. Thanks so much for your time, and I look forward to hearing your comments. Have a blessed day now.